13-6 in fact, so they completely fell apart. Hopefully this break has served them well so they can come out swinging here on Mirage.
Third map in the series, loser out of the challenge, and no longer feasible to be our champions of ESL Challenger. Jönköping has been quite contested, and VP are our favorites, but Monte have been making a solid case throughout. Virtus.pro already starting with a little aggressive hold, getting some extra information, but you can see that Monte are kind of ready to readdress what is the elephant left out in middle.
Yeah, numbers in towards mid, big time here for the CT side. Of course, VP did win the pistol. They had the choice of sides. It's a tough angle to work with the pistol that Mia's in there right now. And actually, kind of cost his teammate his life because he couldn't get that kill.
They are on a timer. That will be the problem. Sure, you've dealt with one of those mid players, but you need to be able to get this bomb down in nice and quickly. Flit just trying his best to hold his ground and thin the herd as best as possible, but this is why they were on that timer. Jame in on a flank and finding, well, after a little bit of labor, a kill onto Waro, but Krasnal's still fighting tooth and nail on the bomb site, and Demq will even cover. So a 2-on-4, and Mir and Jame, two detached from one another. This is looking like a Monte pistol through and through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They've got this one locked in. It was such a layered post plant as well. They had Bro in lowers, they had SDY on catwalk. That was very difficult, even though Jame was in a good position on the flank. Doesn't result in much there for Virtus.pro. Monte open up their account first. That's 4 out of 5 pistol rounds in the series going their way.
I mean, it almost had to expect that Jame would like full W all the way through spawn to hit the flank timing before the bomb went down. That would have been a way for VP to win the round, but that's not James' style, really. The man will hold his shift key for as long as possible.
Does still feel like he's been moving around quite a lot in these maps. You know, lots of flanks, fairly proactive on the CT side.
He's willing to be the sacrifice.
Yeah, contrast from what we've seen in the months gone by. Either way, this round, a mere formality. So important that Monte put behind them what just happened on Anubis, and, you know, don't get caught up in what you already mentioned, that Virtus.pro have beaten them on this map consecutively now. Both times it's gone down to Mirage as the decider. VP have been the ones to get across the line. But now we're on land. Now we're on the stage. There's a lot more on the line for this game.
Yeah, at least in the previous maps before, you know, you could argue that it was kind of half and half. You know, you either took it yourself, you took your pick in the series, or you were able to overturn it against your opponent. But this has been the one constant. Good damage here from Jame. And a weapon too. Be rather pleased with himself. But this is a Monte round, regardless. Having an extra rifle can help alleviate the strain of going into this first gun round here for Virtus.pro. You know, some of the compromises you have to make typically are loss of utility.
Yeah.
But they should be able to get that out in spades should James save. They do seem to be quite interested in finding him, but not enough so that they'll leave themselves vulnerable. So
yeah.
Life will move on. Monte getting a nice jump start to the engine. They do need to put up a good performance here. Felt like a lot of the fight kind of drained out of them towards the tail end of that Anubis.
Yeah, it just didn't look like themselves. Hopefully the break would reinvigorate them, as we can see Krasnal going through the notes. LMBT sipping his tea. And into the first full gun round we go. AWP in play for Jame. That's going to be a glass cannon purchased up by himself. Drops the Galil across to Norbert. VP going to look to try and make their mark here in this first gun round. Can they get themselves on the board? Pretty standard setup coming through from them right now. Really no early aggression. And as for Monte, also just feeling things out quite passively from the word go, playing out a default of their own. So both teams offering up a lot of respect to each other.
Yeah, this was actually, you know, I wasn't sure if Jame was going to be able to get his hands on an AWP, but the fact that they kept their hands on that Galil does allow him that luxury. It's just, it is a very patient game here for Monte. We talked about on the desk, you know, the idea of playing a slow game versus VP when that is their forte sometimes does feel like a mistake. Many teams have tried, many teams have failed. After a little bit of action in towards middle, Flit still under a little bit of pressure inside of Connector. There's just no real ground or territory being attained here by Monte just yet.
Yeah, at least they've gotten some ground in towards middle, but what can they do with it is the question. Flit's going to be playing above the smoke. He's able to find a frag as a result, a bit of follow-up damage. Fame dancing around triple right now is going to do work in conjunction with Norbert. And Monte have just been completely shut down. The slow style not working out for them. Just get picked limb from limb before they're able to gain any traction in the round.
Yeah, just not being able to target or find that kill fast enough. The tag onto Krasnal as well. And a finishing frag here from Fame. Really nice positioning on that A-bomb site as well. Was there to trade for Flit inside of Connector, but then also able to sort of take these challenges towards Tetris and Palace simultaneously. Fame has seen a uptick in performance since that first map. And that's something we want to, kind of highlight. We had the head-to-head with Flit and Krasnal on Anubis. Krasnal is somebody that sort of quieted down on that map when he has been, honestly, one of the constants for Monte in their upswing since CS2. He's a player that does feel like he's found a new identity for himself.
Yeah, but he can't disappear in these big games. It's when they need him the most. And it looks like they're going to commit for a direct approach coming into this next round here. An exec in towards the bomb site. Bit of a smoke being deployed there by Fame to try and play around. And Flit's also being proactive. They won't forego complete control here on the CT side. Looking to try and stave Monte off and keep them at bay. Eventually, the T players able to emerge from ramp and try and get the control. They don't have any further utility, though, so they have to get the bomb down with this first wave.
I mean, they have to be able to get things down now because those smokes are not going to last forever. That kill from Krasnal, disgusting, but there's Norbert on cleanup. 2 kills from rotating into spawn, and now that creates more room for these players to gather themselves up. The post plants aren't that healthy here for Monte either.
Yeah, no utility. It's going to be so tough for them to navigate this. One smoke in towards ramp would block them all off, but there's no further utility for VP, but there is Jame holding the line. It's only Demka. The bomb's not even planted for him. He's a dead man, and that is a second successful round coming through for VP, and they break the Monte economy in the process.
That was a lineup there for Jame as well. Hit the kill and the tag through that one AWP bullet, and it sort of just makes the tripling at ramp that much harder to find any sort of success from. They needed to bridge themselves into the bomb site. They needed to find space in CT fast enough that they effectively wouldn't have to worry about Norbert on that rotate. But yeah, this is the lineup. Actually, almost the whole 3, yeah.
Would have been quite something. At least for Monte, a bit of round loss bonus and a plant means they can afford to dip their toes here in the eco. Couple upgraded pistols, a Galil for Krasnal as well. A hero Galil doesn't quite have the same ring to it, does it?
It doesn't really pack the punch you're hoping for either, but players do skip out on head armor sometimes. That's not the case for Virtus.pro, keeping a number of players alive in that previous. Galil didn't last very long either. But tough times never last.
Tough people do.
Tough people do.
Go, look, we're finishing each other's sentences already, man.
It's concerning, actually. Who are you? How do you know so much?
Man of many talents. Either way, bro, let's see what he's got in store for us. With the Desert Eagle does evade the first shot from Jame, and they'll get a kill on Flit. I mean, they need to try and keep the VP economy honest here. A couple kills would go a long way. As we've mentioned, remember these two teams have played against each other on Mirage. Most recently, it was a 19-16 scoreline in favor of Virtus.pro after a 6-all half going both ways. A couple days before that, Monte managed 4 rounds on their T side and none on their CT side.
Yeah, that's not what you want to hear.
What are you looking at for a baseline here at Monte?
I mean, mainly you want to see greater activity out of players like SDY, especially when they move to CT. I think they talked about on the desk, some of those positions aren't going to be so conducive to seeing the same kind of performances we've seen across some of these other maps. The other opposition that they've had in this tournament, you can't keep getting away with it. And the 1 versus 4 would be a hell of a thing to get away with, but just didn't have the time to play with.
Oh.
Dies even afterwards, so that is not ideal, but did some extra damage to that Virtus.pro economy, which was at least one of the objectives he went in with.
Yeah, is it worth, though?
Probably not.
I'm not sure it is. Down to $1,900 coming into this next round. I think it might even be another half buy coming through here from Monte. Yeah, no, never mind. Scrap that. They're going all in. They're going all in for round 2.
Don't worry about me, boys. I'll be right there behind you if one of these AKs falls.
There was always that one guy in war who would run in with the flag. That's SDY. Carrying the mantle. Jame in position over towards the A side. Monte again with the direct approach. They certainly have kind of averted away from that slow default style after it fell apart in the first gun round. And they will get side control, but they want more than that, man. Oh, that's the bomb carrier that's been dropped through the smoke. That's a huge problem for Monte. They don't have any more utility. At least they have got some sort of semblance of control towards CT. So the plant still comes through, but how do they lock this one down?
They know it's coming as well. I mean, Virtus.pro are playing around this. Fame took great position, and look at them chew them up. Norbert with all 3 frags. Fame was accompanying him the entire time. Monte went for the same fast A play. They took spawn control. They made an adaptation to how things went previously, but so did Fame.
Yeah. Lovely nade there, and then Norbert with the triple kill on the spray down continues to impress. Fame is doing a good job here. Revitalized, reinvigorated, moisturized in his lane, and doing damage.
He's got a lovely sheen about him. I feel like Norbert has smiled more in the past few months than I've ever seen.
Understandably so.
Oh, I mean,
considering his journey.
If you're in the format that you're in as well currently, he feels like he's probably like, where is this coming from? How am I doing this?
Also almost a cheeky like, yeah, you guys see what I'm capable of. This is what I bring to the table. You know, when you give me my time, my chance.
Especially when he had that AWP clip on Ancient. You know, not in this series, but obviously previously in the tournament, he had like little, I don't know what possessed him, but yeah, there's much to like. I feel like there's more personality on Virtus.pro than there ever really has been. I feel like it's something that we struggle with, you know, going from English broadcasts to some of the teams that are sort of competing from other regions. It can be quite challenging to always get a good idea of how these players feel or like what kind of personality types they have.
Yeah.
But Virtus.pro feel more like an open book these days.
And I feel like Norbert brings a lot of that. Kickert obviously in the team before him. You know, he was kind of been the revolving door. Norbert's been in and out a few times, as we do see a bit of a fake coming through right now here. SDY applying a lot of pressure in towards that B bomb site. They have no idea his cross towards Broken. The problem is he doesn't realize flips in towards the market door. And sure, they're going to try and get the bomb across towards the opposite side of the map. Jame does go down, but trade immediately afterwards, and Monte's plan hasn't gone the way they were expecting it to, but they've actually got a man advantage out of this. Fame is going to be looking to try and force the issue along with Flip, the two of them working hand in hand right now. Bro wants to try and get off the bomb site. He has the C4 in the back pocket, and he will find a gap to try and get across, but he's going to have to cross the traffic.
Oh, that's not how that duel was supposed to start. Bro seemed very conscious of that duel, but we'll be able to reroute some nice movement to escape what is a problematic rotation through spawn. But he will be flying fairly blind here, moving into this B bomb site, unsure on numbers, unsure on positions. A smoke that's down is great, but Virtus.pro, Flit was one step ahead already.
Yeah, not like the bomb plant would have made a huge difference in this round, but it would have given them a bit of a buffer going forward. Monte started off with the first 2 rounds of the map, but they're yet to win anything since then. And we saw once Virtus.pro got in that groove and got the momentum on Anubis, they weren't able to be stopped.
Yeah, I think the real problem will be how do you disrupt this? Like, what kind of call do you come up with if you're SDY to somehow bring more of your players into activity? Because it's not like you're not getting space on these sites. It's not like you're not getting these kills. It's actually when those smokes fade that they're having problems.
We've also seen multiple different options from Monte. As you say, it's a difficult problem to fix that they have right now. Either way, they have to find a solution. Certainly going to need more rounds than what they've acquired so far on this T side. They've got the AWP on 4-0. 4-0's actually had a pretty quiet series so far, hasn't he?
Yeah. Definitely one of those players that felt probably the most explosive on like the Monte rise.
Yeah, he's 17 for 32 across the previous 2 maps.
Not the numbers that you're kind of expecting out of him, especially when the responsibilities of in-game leading have not really hampered the performance of players like SDY, or doesn't even have to worry about that anymore. Again, these slow building rounds here from Monte. Seen a nice proactive step from Virtus.pro in a couple of these CT rounds, but this time far more contained. 45 seconds left. Monte will have to start to pull the pin on one of these sites sooner rather than later, but at the moment Virtus.pro don't seem to have a good read on how Monte are going to approach this one. It's been silent for most of the round, and now finally with all the smokes blooming in their face, they'll realize the target.
It's a variation on the A exit. They've gone for the deep jungle and the top con smoke. It affords them a lot more control. The bomb plant, is it going to come through? No! Flit and Mir, they've pulled the rug out from underneath them again. Finally a frag back for Voro, but it's in vain, surely. Yes, they're able to get a couple kills back, but they still have to activate the C4. That top con smoke is going to fade. It leaves them exposed, but Voro finally coming to life when the team needs him the most. Bomb plant with 2 seconds left on the clock, and now we flip the script. Now it's Virtus.pro who are under pressure.
They will. They should challenge, but the AWP in James' hand, he's not got a lot of buffer left up. He does have the kit, and they don't have a whole lot of utility. Smoke inside of Palace, they're both committing to the site, but it's so late from Mir in through spawn that Woro had no clue, no idea, and it has to be SDY. A clutch that could really, really spark some extra confidence here from Monte, but trying to close the gap, Mir just cannot lock him down. It's again a 1v1 between Mir and SDY, and SDY has his number.
Oh man, great play there between SDY and Voro, the way they navigate that situation. Not just playing against the players left alive, they were playing against the clock as well to try and recover. It was a great play from Flit and Mir. Essentially a 5 versus 2, I think, that they've just been recovered. Despite the fact Mir got the jump on Voro, SDY just plays that situation to absolute perfection. The way he dances around the bomb site, delaying proceedings, eventually finishing off the frag. And Monte shows signs of life.
That probably has to be so frustrating. Mir and SDY, both ex-teammates of one another when they were on Spirit. So for them, they end up in these clutch situations, and it has mainly swung the way of SDY, in all honesty, but Mir has been looking for a bit of recovery in form so far this tournament. Started off his debut game at ESL Challenger Jönköping with a pretty electrifying performance, and then since then has sort of simmered down. And then when it really comes crunch time, there's old teammate SDY to put you in your place.
Man, he's been so impressive as SDY this entire event so far. This is a massive round for Monte in the grand scheme of things. They've gotten VP against the ropes economically. You win this, you shatter that money on the CT side, 5-4 becomes 5-all. You feel a whole lot better about life at that point. It's going to be another exec into the A bomb site, and Fames had his head ripped right off.
Gotta love that entry there from Demka, and once again trying to take deep spawn control here on the Monte side. They cannot be content with just getting this plant in, but look at Flit, just moving straight through the gap in the smoke, found SDY, but can't survive much longer, and they funnel through CT back to another 2-on-2.
Oh man, Demka's the next points of contention here, while Bro has an AWP. Both of the remaining players from Virtus.pro are going to be coming through from CT, and it seems like the T's have a very good idea of that. Feels like they know exactly how Virtus.pro are going to go about this retake. They don't have a kit either, so time is of the essence. Bro active steps out, gets the first kill. Mir looking to close the gap, but they now know exactly where he is, and Bro with the no-scope will finish off the job.
Gotta appreciate Bro taking a proactive step there when his teammate was completely locked in on the bomb site. Basically nowhere that he could go. And Bro bailing them out. A little scary, and again, a man advantage situation there for Monte, but it was only at a glance because of this sort of aggressive move that we saw from players like Mir, like Flick coming back into this retake. But now things are starting to piece together here for Monte. They're expecting these retake attempts here from Virtus.pro, and they've finally broken their money now too.
And it was in the last moment for Monte to actually get themselves back into the game. Finally, they found the recipe. They found the way to navigate these post-plant situations. As you say, economy shattered Virtus.pro into unfamiliar territory as they have to settle for an eco.
SMGs are out, so it feels like a solid read on how this round should be played out. So expect Krasnol and SDY to be the main probing points here. Virtus.pro have grouped themselves up ever so slightly.
Yeah, toothless stack though.
Might be, but all it takes is for you to let your guard down for a moment, and suddenly these rounds can fall apart. You know, Bro's gun was covering that peak, so if War wasn't just continually swinging, that could have been bad.
CL underscore right hand 0 would have helped him out there.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, for sure. Not yet. Give everybody some hope out there.
It is merely a myth.
Listen, I mean, Rain had been playing on left hand for, I think somebody said, like, okay, I don't want to quote it, but it was a long, long time. And now he's just won 3 events in a row, and it's about to potentially be a 4th on right hand.
I see. So the fact that he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to have made much of a difference for him.
I actually think he's improved in CS too.
Well, there we go.
Maybe these are good changes.
I see everyone keeps talking about this Bob guy as well. I mean, who's this Bob guy you mean?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. They're all calling for him.
I don't think I've met a single Bob in my life.
Yeah, it's weird because it feels like it's one of the most common names in existence, and yet I'm there with you. I don't know if I've met a Bob either, man.
Yeah, we went through a phase. Humanity continues to develop, as do Monte.
Yes. Coming
back into this game now with some close clutches, some nice 2v2s, and now having a chance to potentially get themselves into a 7-5 advantage. You know, this is a swinging moment in the game for them. Virtus.pro have another buy to pull together, but after this, you know, they'll simply have to force because this is the last couple rounds and a half.
Yeah, Monte are doing here on Mirage what they weren't able to do in Anubis, which is find that recipe in the middle of the map. They lost 5 rounds in a row here, but they've gotten it back on track. And this is the round for the lead. You win this, and 7-5 is a really good chance at that point for Monte. They've got money in the bank, so it's not as easy for VP. You couldn't say the same.
Yeah, both of the rounds that VP, if they should win here, would be just as challenging as the other. All about how they decide to play these mid to late rounds. Almost got caught by not having enough time in previous moments, but this time it's Waro to pick Jame around the smoke in window. It wasn't a perfect window smoke, and Jame tried to get a glance, but falls right into a watchful eye.
Well, you know what Nap says. No missed smokes at this level. It's intentional. Maybe just covering his bases. Either way, Voro does exploit it, and it's going to be Flit who's trying to play around the smoke grenade right now. Oh, up close and personal, bros.
This is weird.
Exposing himself. Flit finds the first. Voro doesn't want to try and shift his focus. The no-scope into the back of Norbert. Massive balls on Voro, and everything falling into place for Monte.
Virtus.pro get caught completely off guard.
Yeah, unusual.
That is not the type of play that you expect to see out of VP. Players not looking the right way, not considering every possibility. That is what they are so good at. Monte completely outmaneuvered them with some of the risks that they take, moving through those smokes and challenging into jungle. You know, Flit decided to isolate a player on stairs, and that leaves Norbert kind of out to dry as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so surprised that Voro stays so committed to his cause to push in towards snipers as well and not try and trade his teammates.
Yeah.
He left that to STY, I think it was. He had full faith in his captain to finish off the job. And they should be hunting here. Voro, he's going to go for it, but he gets shut down. That's okay. Next round is the last of the half. So they'll continue to commit everything they've got to try and find this frag on Fame.
Yeah, but now Fame may be getting called from his in-game leader about picking up that AWP. God, SDY close by. Fame got every kill, and he gets the AWP.
Job well done. He had 2 kills coming into that round. He gets 4 more, all extra kills, but he doesn't mind how they come, and he carries the AWP through. That could be a big factor. Let's watch and see what sort of impact that AWP has in this next round.
Yeah, Jame's been a big performer at this event. You know, it's been him, Flit, and Norbert as major propellants here for Virtus.pro. And coming into this series, I feel like Jame has sort of simmered down a bit, but we've seen more performance from the rest of his star riflers. So yeah, it's all about whether or not he can find some impact on that AWP or not, because Fame had to give away his AK, and he's been looking sharp.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, man. At least he ends up with an M4. He doesn't get like a FAMAS or an MP9
That's
for his
how
bubbles.
you reward me.
Good job, quad kill. Here's an MP9 for you. All right, well, last round of the first half of the first semi-final. This is the 3rd map. Winner here on Mirage gets into the grand final. They play the winner of Eternal Fire and MIBR. That's a big miss shot there from Voro. Kind of just shoots between the 2 players who peek him, and Fame is picked up here in the round where he left off in the previous.
Jame as well, activating with his AWP and ready for the swing, but Krasnal, a hell of a peek.
Wow. What a kill coming through from him. And Mir and Fame both fairly low right now. No kits in play. Krasnal caught with the nade out. Himself and SDY trying to navigate the situation. Absolutely chaotic scenes on the speed bomb site, but somehow the T's have been able to find the necessary kills. It now all rests on Norbert's shoulders. He has got a kit. He has got a smoke grenade, but he does not have a head. What a recovery from Monte. They go up 7-5, and they're now just 6 rounds away from getting into the grand final. The final half of the semi-final is upon us. Monte with a great recovery. Crowd having a good time there as well. Good to see the energy. Yeah, let's go everybody. ESL Challenger Jönköping. Monte versus Virtus.pro. Which will be the first team into the grand final?
I have to think that Monte's advantage might just give them the edge here. And I wonder whether those bunnies are backing the Monte or the Virtus.pro Bears. Wouldn't consider them traditional allies. But a must-win pistol, it feels like, for Virtus.pro. It can feel like the game gets away from you. Monte have built some extra momentum after that first half performance. And Bro as well already taking contact. Demku under a lot of stress underneath balcony, but he can't get things together. War just able to pluck one out through the smoke. There's actually a seeded site here for Monte, but they're re-challenging. And Bro, within a number of double kills, And now another one added to the tally, deals with the planter as well. And do they know where Flit is coming from? Answer is completely no, but now they've got the numbers to deal with them. They funnel and flush him out. Bro, with 4 kills in this pistol, may have secured things for Monte.
Yeah, I mean, VP were looking so good once they find that opening kill. Voro back through the smoke is able to find one, but then it's just the bro show thereafter. Beautiful kills coming through from his USP. He didn't sit back and kind of wait for his teammates. He recognized he had a window, he had an opportunity, and he absolutely capitalized.
He kind of slid back initially as well, maybe unsure about how quick his teammates would get there alongside him. You know, didn't want to fall down or fall victim to what is an early push there from VP and as well concede more territory to spawn than he needed to. But yeah, I mean, a great deal of urgency for him there. Nice to see Bro activate as well, another player that has been kind of the talk of Monte, given how quickly he was implemented.
For him to stand up in this third and final map is also just so impressive. Everybody's chipping in for Monte right now. I mean, Demka lagging behind slightly, but it's been a really well-rounded team performance as they go up 8-5. It's now a streak of their own that they've been able to construct 6 rounds in a row behind them, but this is not going to be an easy one.
Better fights for distance here on Virtus.pro, given the weapons that they have. Flit does walk his way into a watchful crosshair there from Krasnal. And Flit was supposed to try and sell some kind of a fake. Bro, after a very clean round, went from whipping everything now. And things are very awkward. 3-on-3, Fame low. But that Molotov as well will serve to keep this SDY trapped while his teammates can't actually rotate into the bomb site.
Yeah, Krasnal's still on the opposite side of the map as well. That plant's going to come through. Voro, oh my god, he denies it in the 11th hour there, or the very last second before the plant's completed. And Fame and Norbert, they've got, what, 34 health between the two of them right now. They've got no room to comfortably plant. Norbert hits the deck, trades the name of the game. Fame versus Krasnal, a 1 versus 1. This could be massively impactful in the grand scheme of things. Time ticking away as well. Krasnal knows that bomb is dropped on the site right now. Fame has to recover it, and he should be able to activate the C4 here as well. Trading guns, he's going to look to try and fake it out. The peak will come through. Now surely he's going to commit, and that gives Krasnal a chance to close the gap. Starts to push his way forward. Fame's got an idea of what's going on. Can he get the kill? No.
That was going to be a very hard fight there for Fame to win. Krasnal only had to tickle him. But Fame made it interesting. Between him and Norbert, you were right, they were very low health, but the fact they found those trades, even while being in a man deficit, gave them a fighting chance. A very big win for Monte. They have been winning more clutches than Virtus.pro this series.
It's quite eerie how similar Anubis and Mirage have actually been, just with the roles reversed. It was Monte who started well on Anubis, and then it fell out of their favor. And remember, they kept getting plants in the rounds they were losing on the T side, so they had these broken buys. They were coerced into going for the investments, but they never really were able to get off the ground on their T side. And we could actually see something very similar happen here to Virtus.pro.
Yeah, it does feel as though they're not going to be satisfied with losing rounds as close as that. You know, this is, again, one of the problems that we encounter is, like, sure, you're getting more money per round that you lose in consecutively, but there's only so many rounds that Virtus.pro can give up before Monte are right there at the finish line. And they know that, just as well as anybody, that they can pull together these crazy, weird buy rounds. Jame on a P250, the rest of the team on rifles. You know, we see that fairly often from this Virtus.pro roster because they've just got so much stopping power on their riflers. Like, look at the kill disparity at the moment here for Virtus.pro. It's very much a collected effort, but it's also not been a winning one.
Yeah, sure, they have 1 kill between all of them, but nobody has a positive kill-death ratio, so kind of middle of the road right now. They need their stars to step up, make their voices heard, have the impact we know that they're capable of. Monte, 4 rounds away from that grand final in pursuit of their first LAN title as an organization.
This is only step 1. Getting to the grand final is obviously a big objective. Then they'd have to face off against Eternal Fire or MIBR, who have both looked great. Still no certainties yet. Monte will know that just as well as any other. The last time they encountered VP on this map, it ended in OT, but to VP's favor.
Oh.
That's painful. That is painful, but Norbert getting both kills sucks even more for Monte.
That's round over. opposite players on the other side of the map, or the other players on the opposite side of the map, should I say, rather. There's no chance. They've barely moved a muscle. That's really unfortunate for Voro as well. Hits the tag through the wall on Norbert, finds the frag on Fame, but Norbert doesn't care like a marauder. Still just makes his way forward, doubles down, and finally Virtus.pro have been able to break the streak. 7 rounds in a row won by Monte. But the line in the sand has been drawn.
Yeah, I mean, Waro knew exactly where Norbert was, saw the gun barrel as he slid into that corner, and so I'm kind of also surprised that, you know, he loses his teammate for that wallbang attempt. You know, hit the tag, and then his teammate died right behind him, and then he knew he was in a bad spot. You know, there's kind of no way to fight out of that situation if there's more than one inside of those apartments. Once again, a pivotal position for Norbert.
Yeah. Continues to deliver, man.
This guy is the space taker. He is an entry. You know, Flit will go for a fair amount of entries, but I feel like Norbert is actually the one that just continues pushing into new positions.
Yeah. I mean, at this event, Flit and Norbert have accounted for 60% of the entry attempts on the T side for VP. So you're on the money there. Absolutely the 2 players to open it up. Monte keeping 3 players alive will afford a decent investment in this next round, but this is VP's chance to really open up the game once again.
Yeah, I mean, the fact they continue to go for these force buys, or I guess these full buys, but, you know, missing out on some of the utility, and then finally paying off when they, you know, keep as well several of those players alive. They're building up money, and Monte have run out of those reserves. Almost want to see them be a bit proactive with the limited weaponry that they have, but it can be also quite challenging to go and justify those calls when you have Waro on a scout as well. You know, these are not conducive weapons to locking down a bomb site.
It also feels like, you know, you're on the brink. If you're a bit nervous, you might go into your shell a little bit more. You know, you're not as open to making plays or being proactive. Either way, they have got a bit of a stack going on here right now. Will the gamble work out is the question. Virtus.pro heading in towards the bomb site right now. Utility raining in, but frags raining hell right now as Virtus.pro are able to just completely open up the site.
I'd like to think that they just move in to save here. SDY was one of those segmented riflers on the B bomb site. They tried to split him and Bro up. But after losing those 2 kills, it might have been a little too much to ask for. Waro actually did find his frag on the scout, so maybe I'll just shut up about his performance with that. But this is starting to move back and further away from the site, finally punching in those digits, but it's been chewed down to a 3 versus 3, so there's a real world where Monte go in for this.
Yeah, the problem is, like, Voro's just got nothing going for him in this position. Flit's in a great spot, and he will turn and burn just in time. Now it's about staying alive for Flit. Krasnol's trying to hunt him down. He should be able to get the kill. He does. That's an AK up for grabs. There is no kit in play for Monte. That means time is of the essence. Fame has a sniper. Norbert has the AK. Not much help between them. It's now only Fame left remaining. Is the bomb planted for him is the big question right now. That bomb's already so far gone. SDY does recover a kit, but Fame hits the shot, and VP win a key round.
SDY tried to call his bluff, tried to stick the defuse right in his face with so much time still available on that bomb. But Fame doesn't blink. I mean, he's been honestly stellar in this series in particular, especially rebounding after what was a shy performance on Ancient. Fame has awoken. And at the worst possible times for Monte, I feel like Fame has been able to deliver some of these multi-kills. Now pistols out. Standard issue for this Monte squad, and VP are being quite assertive in their control of middle.
Yeah. Should be a 1-round game at the end of this one. Virtus.pro have now found their footing once again on Mirage here in the decider. In pursuit of that grand final spot. What a game we've had here between these 2 teams. A real rivalry building up between them.
Virtus.pro are a squad that really do draw a lot of attention to flaws in your squad. You know, we talk a lot about gatekeeper teams from tier 2 to tier 1. Virtus.pro have been a tier 1 challenger team for quite some time.
Yeah.
And, you know, very frequently, even top level, you know, at the time, #1 ranked teams in the world will still sometimes lose maps or sometimes lose series to this squad.
And it kind of feels like Monte are heading in the same direction as well. We even saw Demka in the interview when he was speaking about the results here at ESL Challenger Jönköping. He said, yeah, you know, but we're aiming higher. It's not just about, you know, beating Nouns and Tyloo is great, but we're looking a lot higher than that. You know, they want to be considered in that conversation of Tier 1 for regular LAN titles. However, there's quite a lot of damage coming through here as I'm speaking over this round right now. Started off as an eco for Monte. They found 3 kills. I don't think there's any way for them to win the round from here. I mean, surely not, but another kill, that would still certainly be welcome. The MAC-10 through the smoke, not going to accomplish anything, but 3 casualties, that's a success for Monte.
Yeah, I mean, really, it feels like Virtus.pro are struggling to sort of accomplish having multiple players alive at the end of some of these rounds. I think it's kind of been affecting them the whole series, I think, as well. That's probably part of the plan for Monte. You know, a big part of the reason that Virtus.pro just control the economy so well is that they don't take many risks until they've already got like 10K in the bank. So I do like that Monte have sort of floated and hovered to get some of these extra frags, because it does mean that when we start to see Monte answer back, then maybe Money won't be in the best of positions for VP to answer.
All right, well, this is the round. This is the round that Monte have to stop Virtus.pro, who have built up some momentum, 3 consecutive rounds behind them, and they call for a pause as well.
Yeah, Virtus.pro are the ones discussing here. This is a tipping point.
Wow.
Yeah, that does make sense. It felt like Krasnal could not get a look in on Anubis.
Yeah, Flit certainly feasted on him there, and Fame has been having a good time of it against Krasnal here on Mirage as well. 9-8, can Monte retain their lead? They've been getting quite a few kills in these rounds that they're losing, so it's not like Virtus.pro's economy has snowballed out of control here. There is an AWP in play for Jame. You can't say the same for the CT side. This is the moment. If VP win this, 9-all should become 10-9 in their favor at that point.
I mean, you look at the challenge that they're presenting towards middle now here on the Monte side. The run boost over, that was very successful. Flit got so much distance, and the flash in too, but Demka hidden behind that smoke. That top mid smoke can work against you, but now Flit has to try and line up the trade. Demka getting both kills, but there's Mir to counter right back.
Yeah, Flit was reluctant to swing out there. He was certain somebody might be holding him. He tries to time his peek, but he just peeks into Demka. And that's a man advantage for Monte. Fame, really good timing coming through from him, emerging out of Palace, knowing he has to make some sort of a play to get his team back in the round.
And look at the extremities, how much they've opened up. These players clamoring together here on the Monte side just to keep tabs on middle. They can have these fast responses to both of the bomb sites as well, should they see or hear anything. Flash and a Molotov is all that'll prompt them onto the A play, but Bro gets a little suspicious.
Yeah, but still might get caught off guard here. That bomb carrier has been able to emerge out of apartments into the site. That's going to be the C4 activated. A huge kill going the way of Demka. That's his 3rd in the round, despite the fact he only has 3 points of health. He's been very quiet on the map so far, but comes up big when the team needs him. However, job not done just yet here in the round. They're going to have to commit to the retake. Mia and Norbert looking to lock it down. Bomb ticking away. A kit in play. Flash left remaining for both of these teams as well. Which way will this one go? Norbert dancing around Broken Wall is able to find one. And sure, Mia's in a position that won't be expected, but how does he get a multi-kill from here is the big question. Finds the first, drops off Bro. Trying to hunt him down right now. Running out of time. He gets the kill, but there's no way for him to get the defuse.
How much do you need to commend Mir for that round? The post plan didn't look great. You know, Norbert getting taken down as soon as he finds that kill from bench, but then Mir finds his frag and then dances round to make sure there is simply no more time. Clutches have been going Monte's way this map, but now Mir stepping up in a massive way. That round almost worth its weight in 2. Monte still hovering some of that extra cash. And they've got a couple of weapons to at least try to cause an upset in this particular round.
Yeah, they've got some firepower at their disposal. Keep in mind, the last time these two teams played against each other on Mirage, sure, it was online, but Monte were leading 11-8. Went to overtime, and they lost the game from there. Here, they were leading 9-6, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, it was actually 9-5. And now we have a leveled up scoreline.
You cannot let your guard down versus VP.
You
Just
give them an
simply-
inch, it's game over.
You just simply can't.
Yeah.
We're winning this game, guys. We're doing great. And then suddenly, you're not anymore.
And it feels like it's just a slow burn from
Yeah.
Virtus.pro.
Whereas Monte feel a little bit more momentum driven.
Sure. All right, well, can Virtus.pro get themselves the lead here as we expect them to do? Bro will be proactive. However, through the smoke, Mia looking for the trade on Bro, but he finds himself a wild SDY.
Yeah, SDY not going to be satisfied with that.
No.
Punished for his teammates' antics. Especially as a player that's been able to have so much impact on this map, as well as the sort of in-game leading mid-round presence that he applies. Bro will have to be able to compensate. It does leave this Monte team fairly divided. Demka felled. Again, Fame getting the better of this timing out from Palace. Will Waro be able to clamber back into this bomb site? Saw a shadow, but now realizes that that bomb site's taken.
Yeah, and he's probably going to look to get out of dodge now. He doesn't have much money. He wants to carry the AWP through into the next round. Bro might be thinking something similar here with the M4, and Virtus.pro have done a 10th round waiting in the wings for them. Krasnal might hang around to inflict some damages. He's only got the CZ. Nice dink there on Norbert, but really not going to amount to much. Carry his Kevlar through, and that is Virtus.pro in the lead in the dying stages of the decider.
Yeah, they know that this game could fall out of favor at any given point here on Monte, so for them conceding and allowing Virtus.pro to get to double digits first is not going to be very satisfying. But bringing forward these rifles will have its impact. It's not like Virtus.pro were trying too hard to deal with those weapons. They'll have a full buy, a very reinforced one, while still floating some cash here on Monte. But they're going to need it. You know, the fact that Virtus.pro get to 10 first and may just be able to close things out after, honestly, getting destroyed on Ancient. They picked into that map. They didn't do well. For us to have had this back and forth between map picks and now for this Mirage to be as close as it is, this does feel like the way that this rivalry will kind of continue to blossom.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Also a massive contrast between the emotion on both sides of the stage right now. Virtus.pro cold as ice. As you mentioned, Monte a lot more momentum driven. And the thing I like about Virtus.pro's approach is you can never really tell if they're losing or winning because they just remain stable. And I think that bodes really well for their emotions, that they don't just flux as much as their opponents might.
Yeah. Maybe we see a smile out of Norbert, but we very rarely see big frowns.
He's had a few desk smashes this event as well.
Most probably.
Outside of that, though, everybody else is just, you know, straight face. Either way.
Cold.
That's it, man. 10-9. Monte will turn stone cold dead if they lose this round. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but 11-9 would become 12-9 if they aren't able to carry enough guns through to afford a full buy in the next. Mirage delivering the first time it's featured here at ESL Challenger Jönköping, and it is giving us some entertainment.
You dared to say Virtus.pro and entertainment in the same sentence.
Hey, man. Tell me otherwise after watching this game so
I mean,
far.
I'm right there with you. I love it, but many would fight you on that point. This is a very slow builder here from Virtus.pro. They didn't challenge it towards middle like they'd done earlier on with Flit sort of emerging out from those top mid boxes. Now they have attained that control, but Monte are playing much further back positions than we've really seen them succeed in. You know, they've been losing control of these bomb sites faster than they know it. They're flying completely blind. VP in the blind spot.
Yeah, and they found a gap. They found an opening kill, but they found a wild Demka as well. 2 kills coming through. It's a flurry of frags all of a sudden from Monte. Welcome back to the server, lads. Fame on his lurk, the last player left alive, and not for much longer either. Monte level it up, and that means we continue to have a game on our hands.
That looked like that should have been a Virtus.pro round. They catch SDY completely off guard in towards connector, but there's Demka to sort of offer up something else to say. You know, him being able to establish that crossfire, just chew through all that heavy connector presence. And this time, Waro in good position to address what has been a very late lurking Fame out of Palace as well. I thought they were going to get caught off guard, and I think they did, but they made some really nice adaptations towards the tail end.
This is concerning for Virtus.pro. Look at the investment and look at the money. Lose this, 11-10 into an eco becomes 12-10. 2 map and series points there for Monte at that point. They've left it late, but they have kept themselves in the hunt. And in fact, they're in the driver's seat now.
Definitely a swinging moment in this game. We've had spurts of brilliance from both. Spurts of clutches, chains of clutches.
Voral's come up big here on Mirage as well. I mentioned he only had 17 kills between the 2 maps preceding Mirage. Up to 16 already here on the decider. Virtus.pro taking their time, sticking to their guns. Stock standard approach coming through from them.
Yeah, again, just kind of walking their way into middle. And this might be, again, what they try to capitalize on. They knew they caught their the Monte players off guard last time over. SDY just has so much responsibility holding onto window and con as well.
My goodness, SDY gonna get called into action, not cleared at all by Flit. Is there a trade? No. And that's gonna bring Voral into the fray. No, but eventually will be able to come through from snipers. Jame finishes off what he started on Voral. A 5v3 brought back into the 3 versus 3. Bro takes up SDY's position, can't do anything from there. Demka's done a great job anchoring the A site in the past few rounds, coming to life in a massive way. A 2 versus 3, Jame and Norbert to try and keep Virtus.pro in the hunt of this round, but it's not gonna happen.
They just kept on challenging, they kept on fighting, and once again, they get picked to pieces. Trying to go through connector. They seem to have identified that as a weak point, but it's almost like you're folding the paper straight over you. You know, as soon as they lose SDY, they are ready to compensate so quickly from short that they've actually found a few players just in the back on Virtus.pro, not considering it.
It feels like Virtus.pro try and take a little bit too much liberty there coming through connector. They wanted to take contact and catch their opponents off guard. And Lumi, they've gone all in. They've decided to force buy here. And they're being forced out of the server. 3 quick kills. Virtus.pro, they pushed all their chips into the middle of the table. And they've got nothing to show for it.
4 of 4 Challenger events. They've made it to the finals. They haven't always won. You know, they had to fight off against a Movistar that were so informed to lose 1. But this might be the first time that this core doesn't make it to the finals. Monte could be pulling off a massive upset and also breaking the curse of losing this decider Mirage in this rivalry.
And the pain from all the losses before this would certainly be outweighed by the sweetness of this victory right here. Can they do it? Or do Virtus.pro still have a trick up their sleeve? You can never count them out. Utility aplenty, bro, great position. Looking to try and finish off this frag. He's brought Jame down ridiculously low, and that will be the first frag. That forces VP's hand in towards the say bomb site. Utility starts to rein in. Virtus.pro get a semblance of control, but they don't have any util left remaining. They need to make it work with this wave, and Demka is making moves right now. Krasnal gets in on the action as well. It's happening, Yumi. Monte are on the brink. They're so damn close. They can taste it. They can smell it, and they've got it in their hands. Monte into the grand finals of ESL Challenger Jönköping.
They beat our champions, the ones that cannot stop making it to finals. They stopped them in the semis. Monte, a hell of a performance, and massive credit to players like SDY,